Yo, what the fuck is the deal? Where's your boy SDJ Say That Jay? I want to thank everybody that done subscribed, that done viewed. We had 100K views. That's real big for me. And FUTV, that's real big for all of us over here. So I want to thank everybody that rocks with the channel and rocks with us. FUTV, I'm going to keep mashing them out. I'm going to keep bringing content. I'm going to keep doing what I got to do to keep bringing the content to this channel. Exclusive, raw, troll-free, real, uncut content coming to you for free. All you gotta do is hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, hit the notifications, rock out with me, talk to me in the comments, I'll talk to you back. Salute all the subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you go down there, hit the subscribe button so you can be up to date and in tune on what's going on in this culture that we call ours. Today I got a special segment. I'm doing the top 5 greatest rappers dead or alive list. It is in order. This is how it goes. There's really no debate. I'm qualified to bring this to y'all. I went back. I did my due diligence from the beginning of hip hop all the way to now. I listened to it all. I could quote you lyrics. I could quote you lyrics from The Message. I could quote you lyrics from KRS-One. I could quote you lyrics from motherfucking Cool G Rap. I could quote you lyrics from Tupac. I could quote you lyrics from all these guys. MC Shan. We knocking out all bums. I could quote you all of that shit. Busy B, all of that shit. I could quote you all of that. You know, I might not be the oldest nigga, but I guarantee you, I went back and I did my due diligence and I know what's going on. I know what time it is. It's not an argument. It's not a debate. It's not a debate. Am I a fan of everybody on this list? No, I'm not. But it's not a debate. You know, it's the end of the barbershop talk. You know, this is how it is. This is how it's going to be. If you didn't make this list, I'm a rapper too. I didn't make the list. If you didn't make the list, and you're not going to, 6 is the best you can fight for. You know, and you're not going to make the top 5. This is the top 5 greatest alive or dead. This is it. You know, this is it. You know, non-biased, real talk. This is how it goes. So make sure you comment, like, subscribe, do all of that stuff. Talk to me, I'll talk back. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learn some things. And this is how it goes. Top 5 rappers ever. Period, point blank. End of discussion. Right here, right now.
5.
Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is on this list, definitely. Lil Wayne is number 5. Now, one thing I can tell you is I've never been a fan of Lil Wayne. Never bought none of his shit. Never really liked this shit. But with this list, when it comes to this list, it's non-biased. It is what it is. Lil Wayne is the 5th greatest rapper of all time. Besides the people that's in front of him, he has had the biggest run. He had the biggest run from Bling Bling. You know, when it comes to this list, I'm gonna say the same. I'm gonna say a couple of the same words over and over again, and that's gonna be longevity. That's gonna be cultural impact, and it's gonna relate to album sales, and it's gonna relate to lyrical cultural impact. Now, with that being said, Lil Wayne has touched this culture for 20 plus years. I mean, Bling Bling came out 1999. We're now in 2022, and Lil Wayne is pretty much almost just as relevant as he was in 99 right now. I mean, 20 plus year run in this hip hop thing is unheard of, especially a Southern act. He is the only Southern act on this list. And with that being said, some things are still undeniable. Lil Wayne has sold over 120 million records worldwide, including more than 20 million albums and 70 million digital tracks in the United States, making him one of the world's best-selling music artists. Now, when you take into consideration that Lil Wayne came into the game as a kid, he had a whole mixtape run, unlike Unmatched, the No Ceilings, the Gangsta Grills. I mean, I could go on and on, you know. And like I said, I was never the biggest Lil Wayne fan, but it is what it is. There's nobody that's not on this list that could fuck with him. I challenge you to comment or write or get at me about somebody better than Lil Wayne, you know, that's had a better career than Lil Wayne, a rapper that's had a better career than Lil Wayne. I mean, everybody has their ups, everybody has their downs, but some things is undeniable, and Lil Wayne is definitely the fifth greatest rapper. I mean, there's nobody that's not on this list that could really challenge Lil Wayne when it comes to cultural impact. I mean, the guy started skinny jeans. I was there in that era. Millie King video came out. He had on red skinny jeans, and from there on, I seen colored pants everywhere. I mean, the guy set trends. He's been setting trends from bling bling to now. You know, Lil Wayne is that guy. No matter if I like his music or not, Lil Wayne definitely is that guy. But let's keep it going on to the next guy.
4.
Nas. Nas is definitely number 4 on this list. Cultural impact unlike no other. There will never, ever, ever be another Illmatic. If you don't know, Illmatic was Nas's debut album in 1994. I believe he was only about 18 years old when the album was released, or when he composed the album. He was a real young kid. There will never, ever be another 18-year-old rapping the way Nasir Jones rapped on that album. Now, another thing is longevity. If you don't know, Nas is one of the richest, most wealthiest people to come out of hip-hop. He's done a lot of different things. He has a company named Mass Effect, Mass Appeal. I'm sorry if I'm getting it wrong. I'm really freestyling this, but I mean, it is facts. He is one of the richest people to come out of hip-hop, you know, and if you put that on top of lyrical impact, Nas is definitely one of the most lyrical. See, this isn't about all lyrics. If this was a top 5 lyrical conversation, you know, Cannabis, Elzai, it would be totally different. But that's what makes Nas unique about this, is because Nas could go on that lyrical, list as well. Plus he has, you know, the cultural impact. You know, I'm not sure about nobody else, but Nas made me want to wear feelers and have a half moon when I was a young kid. I'm talking about a little kid. Nas is the reason I wanted a half moon and a feeler fucking outfit and some feelers. You know, he had a big cultural impact that was felt across the culture. Nas is in a lot of people's top 5s, and he deserves to be. You could argue about his live show, but I mean, if this is a live show conversation, you'll have to put Missy in there, and you Busta Rhymes and other people in there. You know, this is about longevity, you know, from 1994, 93. I believe Live at the Barbecue might have been earlier. What might have been earlier than 94, 93. That might have been late 80s. You know, Nas was definitely on this list, number 4. The reason he's in front of Lil Wayne, this is another thing I'm going to do, is put the reason why they're in front of the last person. The reason he's in front of Lil Wayne, because he definitely had a bigger cultural impact. Like, he was there with the people. You know, he touched the people a different way than Lil Wayne did. You know, Nas was definitely looked at as a black leader at one point. You know, he was definitely talking that, you know, his content was a little deeper than Wayne's content, and that's what gave him the edge on this list. Plus, the man has sold over 15 million records in the United States alone. And Illmatic, you know, Lil Wayne don't got no Illmatic. You know, nobody has an Illmatic. In 1994, Nas was the best rapper alive. You know, in 1994. In that year, Nas was definitely the best rapper alive. But, you know, I would love to hear what y'all think about that decision. Nas definitely at number 4.
3.
Notorious Biggie Smalls. Definitely number 3 on this list. Biggie Smalls comes in at 3. Arguably, he could be 1 or 2, but we'll get to that later. Biggie Smalls has nearly 18 million records sold worldwide. Cultural impact. Biggie Smalls made it cool to be a fat nigga. If you wasn't there at the time when I Love You Big Papa came out, you know, he definitely set trends, you know, is arguable. You know, where he got the image from is very questionable. But what's not a question is his image. It's not in question was his image and his character. Big Papa Mafioso, Big Don. You know, that was definitely his image, and he definitely, you know, wore that role very very well. Lyrical ability is unmatched. He was in his own lane, you know. Lyrically wise, I mean, Biggie Smalls was punching, and he was metaphoring and using similes a lot quicker and a lot earlier than a lot of people. You know, it did get more advanced than what Biggie Smalls was doing, but Biggie Smalls was like the Wilt Chamberlain of that shit. You know, he definitely, as far as writing, he definitely was a lot ahead of his time. He was ahead of his time lyrically, lyrical impact. He was ahead of his time. People still talk about the Biggie lyrics to this day. I'm not gonna quote the lyric that'll never die, but you know, him quoting Richard Pryor, you know, still lives to this day. The man been gone for almost 20 years now, and over 20 years now, and his lyrics is still being quoted to this day. I did album sales, longevity. Unfortunately, his longevity, his physical life was cut short. But then again, you know, with movies, with soundtracks, with features, you know, with different samples, you know, he still had a long career, and his career is still going on, still to this day. You know, he put people on. You know, if you look at the Cameron story, if you look at the Lil Kim story, if you look at the Mace story, if you look at a lot of these people's stories, you know, Biggie Smalls made them able to do what they was able to do. So he definitely has an umbrella. You know, Biggie Smalls, you know, the reason he's better than Nas in my eyes is because, you know, Biggie and Nas was rapping at the same time. But at that time, you know, Biggie Smalls was killing them in album sales and killing them in the cultural impact. You know, he was killing them on the image. You know, a lot more people wanted to be Biggie Smalls than a lot of people wanted to be Nas. And, you know, lyrical, you got to edge at the Nas, but Biggie was right there with him lyrically. You know, he wasn't that far off from him, you know. And song wise, I think Biggie definitely had a lot of steps on Nas. So, you know, that's why he is there at that number 3 spot. Biggie Smalls, it is what it is. You know, you comment, well, I mean, ain't really no debating. Biggie Smalls is better than everybody besides number 1 and number 2. But keep it right along.
2,
Tupac Shakur, Machiavelli. He had a lot of names. Tupac is number 2 on this list. You know, cultural impact unmatched worldwide, from courses, statues, college courses. I mean, it's unmatched. Tupac touched the world, you know, in a big way, in a way that no hip hop artist ever touched. Not even number 1. He touched the world better than number 1, you know, in my opinion. You know, but Tupac is definitely on this list. Number 2 could easily be argued at number 1, but I'm gonna get into that later. 75 million records sold worldwide. He has scored 5 number 1 albums on the Billboard 200 and 8 number 1 albums on the top R&B hip hop albums chart. So at the end of the day, we don't even, I mean, Tupac, is hard to talk album sales with Tupac. It's a couple people that could talk album sales with Tupac, but then you got to look at their cultural impact. Do people have college courses about them? Do they have statues? No, they're not. Nobody else besides number 1 on this list is even coming close to Tupac cultural impact. Longevity is one thing that was cut short, unfortunately. But at the same time, I mean, the Tupac movie just came out. A lot of people didn't like it. I like the Tupac movie. I'm a big Tupac fan. You know, I've been knowing Tupac lyrics before I knew my ABCs. This is a fact. Tupac was definitely, you know, he'd probably be number one maybe on my personal list, but this isn't personal. This is just what it is. Tupac, I mean, you could go on and on from movies. He transcended, really. He really transcended rap. He was one of the first people to have the success that he had transitioning to acting. And you know, lyrically, people say what they want, but that's after he gone because they feared him in the physical form. Let it be known he tried. Like, you know, Tupac's lyrics went over a lot of people's heads. He was very, very, very lyrical. And then, you know, a lot of people on this list was there when Tupac was rapping, and Tupac went at these guys, and they didn't really want no parts of Tupac. You know, he was way too deep in the street. Tupac is the only person on this list. So he fucked with the Crips. He was a Blood. He was a GD at one point. You know, he was a Black Panther. You know, he knew everybody. He touched every circle. He touched the world. You know, nobody on this list touched the world like Tupac did, and that's why he's number 2 on this list. There's no greater rapper. There's nobody gonna do that shit no more. It ain't gonna be no Tupacs. There was a couple Tupac clones. You look how that shit turned out for him. You know, it ain't gonna be no more Pacs. You know, it'll never be another Tupac. You know, it'll never be another Tupac. Stop trying. You're not going to even be better than the other 3 people that was before Tupac on this list. You know, so, you know, the reason he was better than Biggie is simple. You know, in this thing of ours, it's called beef sometimes. And, you know, Tupac won the lyrical beef. What happened in the streets, I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't old enough to be there. But on the tracks, you know, Biggie Smalls came back. He came back. You know, Long Kiss Goodnight. It was a couple tracks where Biggie Smalls came back, but, you know, it wasn't enough. You know, Hit 'Em Up was just the best diss song ever. And, you know, Tupac is definitely on this list at number 2. He won the musical beef between Biggie. What happened on the streets, you know, is what happened on the streets. But when it comes to the music, Biggie Smalls declined. He declined combat, and, you know, forfeited the shit to Tupac. But, you know, he probably would have. Tupac was gonna win anyways. But Tupac is definitely number 2 on this list. And R.I.P. to that man. R.I.P. to Biggie Smalls as well. And we're gonna keep going on. We're going to keep going on. Number 1. To close it out, number 1.
1.
Jay-Z, Hove, Jehovah, you know, he got a lot of names. Hove is number 1. Hove been number 1 for a while. You know, there's no real debate. I'm going to start this one off like this. The reason he's better than Tupac is one reason and one reason only: longevity. You gotta edge the lyrics. You gotta edge the lyrical impact to Jay-Z. I mean, that could be preference, but if you're gonna just go skill for skill, if you combine the longevity, he edges them in the lyrical impact. You know, so that's why he's ahead of Tupac on this list. You know, and in a lot of other categories, you know, I'm not gonna talk about money. We're just talking about music and artistry and rapping. And a lot of other areas, Tupac could have been better than Jay-Z, but with the longevity and the lyrics that came over time from Jay-Z. I mean, from Jay-Z been rapping since 1989. You know what I mean? Since the 80s and shit. You know, so with that being said, I mean, him and Tupac started off around the same time, but Jay-Z, you know, lyrically, he's an edge ahead of Tupac. and he's miles and miles and miles and miles ahead of, you know, everybody, a lot of other people, you know, that come close to him album sale wise. I'm not talking about the Elzais and the Most Defs and shit. I'm talking about the top selling artists of all time. You know, put him in a box with Jay-Z. It's a 99.9% chance that Jay-Z is gonna wrap a lyrical fucking circle around him easily, effortlessly, without writing shit down. Just get in the booth and just wrap circles around these niggas. He's still doing this shit to this day, y'all. Since '89, you know, since the Jazz old days, you know, the man has sold over 50 million albums, 75 million singles sold worldwide. You can't talk about sales with Jay-Z unless you're like Eminem or somebody like that. Eminem not even on this fucking list. He could have easily been on this list at number 5, but he's not on this list at number 5, you know. But, you know, he's definitely, Eminem is definitely an honorable mention. You know, a lot of people say he hung with number 1 on the track preference. I personally like Jay-Z better on Black Renegades, but it is preference, you know, so that definitely gets Eminem an honorable mention. But he doesn't have a better cultural impact than Lil Wayne. You know, Eminem don't got a truck fit. Eminem don't got a no ceiling series. Eminem don't have a lot of things that Lil Wayne has musically. I ain't talking about money. I ain't talking about the streets. I ain't talking about nothing but music. And it's a lot of things that Lil Wayne accomplished in his career, you know, that the Eminem didn't. You know, but enough about the honorable mention. Back to Jay-Z. I already told you why he's better than number 2. We went through the album sales. Cultural fucking impact. I destroyed your 4.0s. You know, he told us to put on button-ups. He told I mean, it goes on and on, you know. Even the 444, niggas wasn't talking about all this investment shit before Jay-Z. Now everybody is a fucking more stockbroker, you know, after 444, you know. And cultural impact, you know, him and Tupac is about damn near hand in hand, you know, but you gotta edge it to Jay-Z because of longevity. You know, Jay-Z has survived, you know, and you have to give a man credit for surviving. You know, Jay-Z was rapping in the 90s, he's rapped in the 2000s, he rapped in the 2010s. He just put the shit out with Khaled a couple weeks ago, whatever the fuck it was. You know, you have to, that's why he's number 1. Nobody else has done that. Nobody else will do that. It's over. It's like Wilt Chamberlain. Ain't nobody gonna score 100 points and get 50 rebounds in a game. That shit is over with. You know, sometimes you're blessed to be in certain time periods, and you know your skill and your talent gets looked at differently in that time period. And Jay-Z was definitely, you know, ahead of his time in this. You know, what can I fucking say? He's just number 1, bro. He Hove, nigga. Hove is number 1. Like I said, cultural impact, longevity, album sales is what we was mainly basing this off of. And one more, I'm a lyrical ability. You know, if you factor all 4 of those in, there's nobody coming close to Jay-Z, Sean Carter. You know, and it is what it is. I didn't used to be the biggest Jay-Z fan, but it is what it is, you know. It is what it is, man. That's what it is. That's the top 5, dead or alive, right there. You got Lil Wayne, you got Nas, you got Biggie Smalls, you got Tupac Shakur, and then you got Jay-Z. There's no real debate. It is what it is. We all fight for 6 right now. Yeah, when it's open for 6. A lot of people closer than a lot of other people, but everybody's fighting for 6. You know, top 5 is locked in. Mount Rushmore, you know, it's in stone. Etched in stone is what I mean. You know, it is what it is. Lil Wayne can no longer drop. For a while, Lil Wayne could drop, but no longer could he drop. I mean, he can't drop. Lil Wayne is there, and the rest of them is there. Let me know what y'all think about that. I mean, it's real no debate, but let me know what y'all think about that, and like this video, comment, subscribe. I know a lot of people gonna agree, a lot of people gonna disagree, but it is what it is, man. I'm up for the debate. Let me know what's going on. Shout out to all the subscribers, man. It is what it is. I'm out this motherfucker.